Women's Super League semi-finals. What was the score between St Helens?
18-4.
I know it wasn't 16 because it was 16 on the handicap, and that did not land. But well done to Wigan for their season. They're going to
one of the tries of the year. I mean, again,
everywhere,
wonderful skill, brilliant timing of the pass, great speed down the wing, and a brilliant dummy and finish from her. Is she 17, Jennifer? She might be 19 now, but wonderful try.
So much young talent coming through, isn't there? It's exciting to see where things are going to go in the future. Great to see the two semi-finals played at the home venues of the men, even with the logistical difficulties of St Helens having a football match on in the afternoon.
Both on Sky, one after the other. Both fantastic games for semi-finals in that neither were blowouts. York, St Helens deserved winners, you would say, of both games?
Yeah.
You were at one of them.
I was.
I only watched it.
York absolutely dominated in the forwards, and Leeds had no space to work with, had no territory.
The goal line defence was good in the first half, but it took too much out of them. But it raised another question where, had there been a referee on the panel, we would have been able to ask and get a definitive answer.
The final moment of the game.
Yeah, well, the score that gave Leeds the chance to level the game was scored out wide. Looked as though on the TV, don't know what it was like live, obviously, that there was an impediment of the Leeds player.
My initial thought was
would have scored, could have scored,
yeah.
penalty try, conversion in front of the post. But because play was allowed to continue and a Leeds player following
accidentally
up
scored,
touched the ball down, which is what any player would
supposed to do. Yeah, exactly.
You can't then have a penalty try if it's negated by the try.
Actual try.
And then the conversion has to be from a touchline and it fades past.
So, that reminds me.
Presumably nobody in the Leeds camp was complaining that they'd been...
No.
Anything unjust.
Because when...
Jazz Bell, you wouldn't want to hear.
When Leon Crick was asked about it afterwards, he thought Pete Smith asked him about an 8-point try, which he wasn't an 8-point
No,
try.
it was never an 8-point try because that was in the act of scoring. But
it's reminding me, the best conversion you've ever seen Jack Heggie on Saturday, hit the post and then came off the crossbar twice before bouncing over. So that's skill. That is skill. Leeds just...
They haven't got enough pace.
Or creativity.
But what they have got is the ability to stay in games. I thought Ebony Stead was great at the back. She's going to be something, talking to young players. But just a great all-round performance from York. Physical, as you said, but led by Jazz Bell was impressive.
She does tend to be, doesn't she? She's Kelsey Gentle's favourite player, as you'll have learned if you watched the interview with her afterwards. Yeah, that was an interesting interview. Which might. That's the other thing. Yeah, it's the other thing about London. Remember when St Helens won the Super League, and I interviewed Kyle Aymore afterwards, and he was very upset because everyone was players in London for getting relegated,
but having 10 victories
and not giving enough praise to the winners. And we're doing the same here. We go, plucky London, haven't they done well? They blah, blah. But yes, York, very impressive. Especially with the fact that they have to do it without Tara Jane Stanley, Woman of Steel, without Sinead Peach,
on Sky,
Woman of Steel, should bring on the water. Georgie Hennington on the shortlist has been in the positions where those players would have been.
Quite rightly so, and played brilliant. I mean, you've got to be fit to be able to play fullback and hooker in the 80 minutes.
Played in the same game there. That's quite impressive.
It's just unbelievable.
And Rhiannon Marshall's boot. So and Kelsey Denton scored a try. So thinking she was a winger again, but really she's a forward now. She's one of the forwards at York, and they play St Helens, as we say, beat Wigan, and they now have to win big games as well. And York will be better for the experience. It's going to be a fascinating season next year. It is going to be another 14 competition. That's we don't know who's going to be the 8th team in the competition this year after Fenton play the winner of Lee and London
play in the North and South competitions. Well, that'll be an interesting game. Is that this week?
I think so, because they then play the game before the grand final.
Right. So that's one to look out for this weekend. Lee and London women in the championship final.
In Birmingham.
Is it in Birmingham?
It's at the
At the
Midland
Alexandra
Stadium.
Stadium?
Yeah. Who wins the grand final? I
Don't know, actually.
If you're
I
a
don't.
York listener, turn off now.
Let me remind you.
Oh, we got chocolate on. So, Saints, if you want to send us any, we've got the Saints thing. I mean, I paid for those. So.
But you've eaten.
Yes, I have eaten. That's true. It should be.
Do you know the Saints media managers? Is there anything you can send?
I can say you should. Got a sympathy card I could put on the table. I think that's not quite the same, is it? So Saints and York meeting in the grand final. We'll see that in a couple of weeks.